the RNC brought me here because the video that I did, which, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago now, that was critical of the President's $100 million budget cut out of a $3.5 trillion budget. And I basically just visualized those numbers using about $100 in pennies. And it caught the eye of a couple of people here at the RNC, and they decided to bring me out. It has been a lot of fun for me. First part of my day, I talked with Fox and Friends. It was a very, very short interview. They showed part of one of my videos, and then they asked me a couple of little questions. And then I came back here. I was given the Grassroots Logic Award by Chairman Steele, and that had an accompanying press conference, which was fun. We showed a couple more videos. And afterwards, I got to talk to a number of journalists and bloggers, and it was, that was more fun, because there you've got people who are more interested in new media, they're more interested in the techniques, and how can we use this, and where is it going, that kind of thing. We went over to a Senate policy lunch that was attended by the Senate Republicans, and that was really nerve-wracking. I've never met my senator before today, and I know about 10 of them from their face. Senator John McCain and Senator McConnell. That was probably my weakest performance, because I'm like reading from one thing and please don't screw up. And I swear I said the word million for everything. When I was talking about $1 trillion, I said $1 million. When I was talking about $1 billion, I said $1 million. It is exactly what I'm trying not to do.
Political math guy got his math wrong.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a disaster. But if I were to do it again, I would reference it and be like, this is what people do. This is what they think. They hear a billion, and they hear $1 trillion, $1 billion, $1 million, and all they hear is illion, and that means a whole crap load of money that I don't have. And from a mathematical perspective, it means a lot more than that. I mean, $1 million is a lot of money I don't have, but maybe someday I'll have it. $1 billion is a lot of money I don't have. I will never have that money. $1 trillion is such a mind-shattering amount of money that you can't comprehend it outside of doing some sort of what I'm trying to do. These visualizations that are like, see that tiny thing? That's you. Tomorrow, I'm talking with Americans for Tax Reform. I apparently have a presentation with them. And then American Solutions, which is Newt Gingrich's group. I'm talking with them. And also factcheck.org, which, a little shout out, Brooks Jackson is the president of factcheck.org. They're fantastic. I have been very, very happy with the way they've treated me. They have...
Have they fact-checked you?
They fact-checked me twice, maybe 3 times.
And did you get them wrong, or?
I got everything right. No, I got one thing wrong. I accidentally gave the president more credit than he deserved. Which I'm like, I'll never do that again.
How long did it take you to put that first video together with all those pennies stacked up?
Forever. It probably took me 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 hours a day. If anybody's planning on doing anything with pennies, stacking them, it's a bad idea. Just laying them out one at a time, much easier. But these are the things we learn.
Why do you think this kind of message, this video message, rings true with people?
Well, there's 2 things that I think are important in my videos. The first one is the message of visualizing data in some way. I'm probably never going to use a number in a presentation again. It's going to be some sort of visualization, either by scale or making connections visually. But the second thing is the reason that so many of my videos they're pennies, or I've got one with dollar bills, I did one with Legos. They're all real world objects. And the reason I've been trying to focus on real world objects is because it's important to get people to have a visceral reaction to the number they're seeing. People see graphs, and graphs are turning into what numbers were 10 or 20 years ago. So you have to have a really good one to to get a really strong reaction out of them. And so everything that I'm doing, I try to make real world in order to kind of bypass the instant defenses people throw up against computer generated images, which makes it sound like we're visualizing the budget with orcs or something. But when things are too clean and when pictures are too clean, people have trouble connecting to reality. I hate the healthcare debate. From a data visualization point of view, we're talking thousands of variables. Tons and tons and tons of things go into this debate, and it's hard to pull that stuff out and make a something that's compelling as well as pertinent. The whole thing about healthcare numbers is that, well, there's a couple of things in healthcare. There's cost of healthcare. Now, we can make healthcare really cheap if we get rid of it. No more healthcare, nobody gets to see the doctor, it costs $0. Clearly nobody wants that. And so the fight is between healthcare quality and cost. And so these are two variables that are somewhat dependent on each other. I mean, people can make, there are lots of cases to be made, well, in some cases you pay more, but you get worse quality, blah, blah, blah. But there is a certain correlation between quality and cost. And so I've done a video on wait times, and I have gotten some positive feedback from that. I've gotten some negative feedback from that, and negative feedback is not all angry people. Some of it's perfectly valid. I did one on just very recently, this morning in fact, on the cost of healthcare. Now, in this one, what I tried to point out was that all the CBO estimates so far assume that we make no changes to Medicare and Medicaid, which, in my understanding, was the point of the whole healthcare thing. Is Medicare and Medicaid are in trouble? Let's do something that reduces their costs. Well, all the CBO estimates have no cost reduction added in, and so they all assume that Medicare and Medicaid keep going the way they are. And honestly, the cost reduction arguments that I've heard are kind of like, it's the sort of thing where that's going to reduce costs. Do you have any data to back that up? And the answer is never yes. The difficulty with healthcare is that it's all promises and no data. We have the only state that has any level of data that we can lean on to support what we think is going to happen is Massachusetts. And my understanding is that the universal conclusion from Massachusetts is that it's a disaster. I am a closet conservative libertarian, a fiscal conservative. Socially, I lean liberal from a policy standpoint. But the fact of the matter is that I love doing data visualizations, and politics is a great place to find data. And I mean, there's papers and stuff, and I've been talking to a friend about doing a visualization about migratory patterns of birds. And that's interesting and it's cool and exciting and everything for like 500 people. But when you're talking politics, everyone gets excited. Everyone's like, and they get excited in an angry way or they get excited in a happy way, but people really care. So I'm not trying to advance agenda here. It's mainly an issue of having fun and practicing. I don't do partisan videos in the sense that nothing in my videos is untrue. Absolutely not. Will not do it. I do partisan videos in the sense that I choose I want to do this and I don't want to do that. I'm going to make a video over here and I'm not going to make a video over here. It's an issue of which topics I want to discuss and I want to deal with, and that's a partisan issue. But honestly, that's the kind of partisanship we get in hard news these days. We're going to do this story and not that story, and it's a soft partisanship, to be sure. I mean, it's not Keith Olbermann and it's not Bill O'Reilly, but it makes a difference. I love social media because it means I can sit in my house in Salt Lake City and do my normal job and put out things that I think are fun and important. I actually started out in media after my undergrad. I did 2 years as a multimedia producer, hoping to go into something like journalism or something like video production. More professional video production. I did very small stuff, but I couldn't pay the bills with it. It was very cost intensive, and it's a young man's game. I've met a lot of people in media, in professional media, and there's two kinds. There's young, and there's executive, and it's hard to find people in between because it's a very, very rough life. New media doesn't have the, you have to be up at 5:30 in the morning and come over and do makeup. I think I did some of my videos literally in my pajamas.
What do you use to tape your videos?
I use Canon SD 1000. It's 150.
So that's just a regular camera.
It is a 7-megapixel camera that does. It has several video modes, like stop motion, which you'll see if you've seen my Lego video, and just regular. And I've got like a 16 gig card in it, so I don't have to fill it up all the time. But outside of that, stick it on a tripod, shine some lights in the right direction. If you want to grab some, like Target has these great lights, or it's one that comes up and one that comes off of an arm. And if you're planning on doing video, lighting is nearly everything when it comes to image quality. Just grab a couple of those and position them properly.
So that little camera got you to Washington.
It seems so. It's a good little thing. New media is going to have a huge impact in the future, and it's going to be the kind of people who are just like, I'm going to take a weekend and sit in and write a little script and do a little thing, and we're just gonna stick it up there. Nothing I do is exceptionally complex mathematically. It's all algebra. It's all basic. You learn it when you're a sophomore, junior in high school, and so anybody can do it.